fabric, the main trouser front. This is the pocket bag. This is the facing, which is going to be seen on the front from outside. So our pocket bag is going to be like this. This part needs to be covered with the main fabric. The upper part of the pocket bag has to attach to this, and these two will be finished with the help of a facing. So this is the prep that you need to do. This facing has to be closed, ironed like this, because it's going to go inside and it's going to cover this part. And this also has to be turned inside and ironed. So prep this and this so that you can stitch in one go. So you can pin up together. Main fabric, pocket bag upper part, and this facing has to be together, and this part has to be together. So right now I'll start with this completion. Okay, I've placed it. If you place your parts correctly, you will not go wrong. Now put it back again and check. Now this has to come here, and these two have to be finished with a facing. Right side facing right side. This is folded here because it's going to turn inside. So now next thing I'm doing is stitching this part over here.
Actually, I'll take 10. But if you want to use
If your seam allowance is more, you have to give slashes. If it's very little, you may not need it. This should be nail pressed and opened because it's a facing like any other facing. It needs to go behind. Okay, the seam allowance is not enough. I'll just take a little bit inside. Then the main fabric, and then our facing on top of it, because these two will be together and the facing will finish these two. Because the seam allowance for the main fabric is too less. Now you have to nail press it, bring it to that side, and now we are going to do a understitch like we do for any shape facing. That understitch helps the facing to stay inside. Now this will stay here You should iron it at this stage. This ironing is important. It will ensure that everything stays in place. And then this has to attach to only the pocket bag. So lift it up and attach it only to the pocket bag. You should put pins and do this.
Yeah,
Otherwise it might
ma'am,
just go ahead.
This will come.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what.
So what I'm saying is put another fabric. Now it will not create a problem. So now you got this in place. All you're left with is completing the pocket stitch to completing the pocket bag and then attaching the bag. At this stage you can also fix it. So iron it first. And then you can put a stitch over here so that these things don't move.
Class recommendation 8 to 11.
Now put it again. So then the thread doesn't keep on coming out. Now let's do the pocket bag. If there is any misalignment which has happened, your main alignment that you need to see is here on the front, the side seam and everything. The pocket bag, if at all there's any misalignment, you can adjust this now. And we are going to do a French seam over here, which means first we are going to stitch the inside of it and then the outside. So I'm going to turn it around, do one stitch, trim off if there is extra. Then turn it around again neatly. The corner should come out properly. Push the seam out. Flatten it nicely. A good French seam only is when you're able to bring out the seam properly. And we'll do one stitch here. This stitch should be a little more than the previous seam allowance. When you are coming to an end, prepare your fabric to come again. That way your threads will not break. So we are here. Now what are we left with? Only the attachment of the back. So basically the front leg is now ready. This is the facing. This is also the inside. Side seam to side seam, and then we're going to give one stitch according to the seam allowance of the side for the trouser. You make sure that your pocket bag is also within the seam. So ideally when you leave the machine, it should be overlock this edge, flatten the seam, open. The waistband will come over here.